What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. After Sound here, bringing you Splinterlands content every single day. We also stream right here on this channel every Tuesday, Thursday, and Sunday morning, so come by and say hello. All right, guys, well, vouchers are up to like 13.5 cents, so for those of you buying at 7 cents whenever it dipped down that low, well, congratulations. You have made almost a 2x, which is really exciting. So congratulations on that trade. And we will see just how far vouchers can go because keep in mind, we have the Voucher promo that is coming up within the next week or so. And then we will also have another promo, as the team talked about, probably sometime on the heels of this. Now, the Voucher promo is part of the SPS proposal that went through, but the team is also trying to do quarterly promo cards. And so, we don't know, we don't have any information. We don't have a timeline, but they did confirm recently or in the most recent town hall that there are 2 promo cards coming down the line. And I would expect, we're probably not going to get the second one in March, but probably sometime early next quarter. And then you could probably think of like Salty Bear or the Salty Bear promo as like the Q1. I mean, technically it was like Q4, but it could also be Q1. I mean, technically you could count Lux Vegas Q4. So if you look at it this way, then we're right on schedule here to have something in early Q2 for that as a promotional. Or as a promo card, I should say. So I just want to take a quick look at vouchers because there seems to be some utility that is coming in, and it's kind of impossible to tell just how many vouchers there are actually in the system right now because so many get lost in the bridge. And I shouldn't say lost, but they get sent to the bridge. We see that there's like 145,000 that have been burned. But ultimately, the calculations here are not easy to do now that we have them existing on the SPS chain. So there's voucher utility coming in the form of promo cards. There's voucher utility that is still there with Rift Watcher cards and Tower Defense packs. And then there could potentially be voucher utility with Tower Defense and guild. Well, they're not guild alliances anymore, but they've talked about guild buildings or the guild expansion that they're going to do, potentially using that as a way to create some voucher sinks. So again, we don't have any information on guilds. We don't have any information on Tower Defense, but the idea is that a lot of this utility will be coming online. So I wanted to take a quick look at kind of like a high level and figure out like what will we need in terms of like burning vouchers, like what kind of demand will we need for vouchers, because it's not just like it's not just sinks exist, but I want to look through and see like, okay, well, what are the sinks that like people really want and need and we know that are going to get filled. So let's just do some quick math here. Going to bust out the calculator. We got 40,000 vouchers that drop every single day. You multiply this by 365 days and we get a nice even 14.6 million vouchers per year. Now, just some quick math on this. Every quarter, what they've done is one of these. Well, not every quarter, but with the Lux Vega promo, and I have a feeling they're going to follow this for other similar things in the future. But even if you look at the Voucher promo, that will also be the same, where it will burn roughly 500,000 vouchers, right? Because you're going to get 500, where you can use like 5. So if you look at Lux Vega, for example, like 500 vouchers. Plus like 500,000 DEC. Remember, it's like $1 million DEC, which is like $1,000, but you can use half of it with vouchers. So it's 500 vouchers times like 1,000 copies of a card is roughly 500,000 vouchers. We should see that same amount roughly burned with the Voucher promo. But the point being is that if we can expect this on a quarterly basis, and again, this is the team's one, not an SPS proposal, you multiply this by 4, and that's 2 million vouchers right there. So you get 2 million vouchers. I would also like to count the Rift Watcher style packs, right? So I know Rift Watchers hasn't been selling, but I would say that it's not selling necessarily because of the price point or that people don't want the cards. I think that a lot of people might be waiting to see if there's another proposal put in, or they're waiting for the price of SPS to go up. But I do think that we will eventually get through that, and we'll get through that within a year's time. So when you think about the mini sets that end up coming in, right? So your Rift Watchers, your dice, I don't think they're going to go any lower than 3 million for the next one. So we take that as another 3 million. Then you could also take what they did, at least for the pre-sale of Chaos Legion, as another 1 million. So if Aggie gets his way, which I think is not a bad idea, right? To do this on a yearly cycle where you have a set that comes out and it stays out for 9 months and then there's 3 months of no packs available. Well, then I would say at least 1 million, similar to Chaos Legion, would be set aside for some kind of pre-sale. So let's start again. So 14,600 or 14.6 million minus the 2 million for the promo cards, quarterly promo cards, minus the 1 million for the core set pre-sale, and then minus the 3 million for the what's that called, for the mini set, right, where each of these will require a voucher. Now, what am I not including in here? Any other kind of like one-off things, like for example, tower defense was put on there excuse me, as like a 2 million voucher sync, but obviously a lot of people are waiting for the game to come out, and then we'll probably go and buy vouchers then. So, and we can't expect like a new, I mean, it'd be awesome if we got a new game or multiple games every year that ate into the voucher supply, but as it stands right now, that's what I'm kind of looking at as like, okay, you got 14.6 million vouchers printing, and then for the cards and the sets that come out, that seems to be in line with what we're thinking in terms of the overall, like, how much we would use on a yearly basis, somewhat guaranteed, right? Pre-sales and then mini sets as well as promo cards. So that leaves 8.6 million vouchers still unaccounted for every single year. And I don't know, let's just divide this by 365. You get like 23,000 vouchers, 23,000 vouchers that every single day. So the place that I think could be the biggest sink for this is probably going to be whatever they end up doing with guilds. Sure, there could be some stuff with tower defense, but that's going to be its own game. And while it will exist within the ecosystem, I don't know what the release cycle or the plan is for tower defense over the future. Like are they going to come out with yearly expansions? And if they do, like it might take a while to get into that cadence. So I just want to disregard that for now and just look at guilds. So if we take a look at guilds and we see, like, from a DEC perspective, how much it costs to, level up one of these buildings, you can see that it gets quite expensive at the higher levels, something like 1 million DEC in order to utilize the highest levels. So my hope is actually that they do something ridiculous with guilds. And what do I mean by that? Well, they're planning to add probably more buildings or something. Again, we don't know all the details yet, but that's what has been roughly teased so far. They went with the Guild Alliance idea initially, but then decided that they would just add to the current guild structure. So my thought process with this is, what if you just had something that was either an infinite voucher sync or something that costs like 1 million vouchers? Because then that would send voucher prices not necessarily through the roof, but it would create this ongoing demand. You think about how many guilds there are out there that, let's go to the guild section here. If you wanted to get, for example, like the highest level building and whatever bonus that building would get you, I mean, people would be throwing vouchers in there left and right, and it would actually give ongoing utility to vouchers, which, again, it's not that voucher prices should be through the roof. I don't want them to be like $25. I mean, it'd be awesome if they were $25, but I don't want them to be like completely inaccessible to folks. But I do think about, like, well, we need to create some kind of sync, right? So we've heard about this infinite monster staking on land. I would love if there was some kind of infinite voucher staking that would happen, or infinite voucher burns that would happen within guilds, right? Where, again, it becomes something where it's ongoing, where in order to get some kind of benefit within the guilds, right? Maybe it's a multiplier on merits. Maybe it's a multiplier on, well, you can't really do SPS, but maybe just something, right? Some kind of benefit. You could do it in a way where, the amount of vouchers your guild has burned versus the amount burned overall by all of the guilds could create that kind of competition, and it would always create, like, a use case and a utility. Now, again, you don't need to necessarily have that, and maybe if you do it that way, there won't be as much competition, because it's like, well, we don't need to get X amount, right? Whereas if you were to go into, I went into Knights United, but it doesn't matter. But let's say if you were to have a new building and go into that in the info, in order to level it up, instead of costing DEC, like, imagine if each of these was like 10,000 vouchers, 20,000 vouchers. Again, it would be something where people would need to be in this for the long term. Either they spend a crap ton of money cleaning out the system now, or it's like, we just go along with this. We keep on contributing. Maybe there's like 20 levels to a store or to a building that make it a little bit more attainable. But, the last building is going to be like 1 million vouchers, or maybe the entire thing will be 1 million vouchers. And when you think about that, when you think about that, that means that only like 8 guilds can reach that top guild building or max out the guild building per year. And so again, will there be issues with this? Potentially. And I'm kind of fine either way. Like whether you create something that has like a massive DE or voucher sink, or you create an infinite voucher sink, I'm good with either. But to me, that's one of the ways in which you could really, really mitigate this 40,000 supply that just gets dropped every single day. You have something that's always there that can be used, and it can be done in like small amounts too, where it's just like, for our guild, like for every fray, we pay 100 DEC. Well, now it could be like 100 DEC or a voucher or whatever the case is, right? Point being is that now it's just like, okay, well, I have a voucher. I got one from a node license, or I got one from staking SPS. Here's part of my fee to my guild to pay, for whatever. Let me throw it in there, right? In the same way that we throw a couple of DEC every single time. So ultimately, that's my thought process with this. I would love to see a massive sink for guilds. Mainly, I would love to see just guilds expanded upon in general. So I'm excited that Matt and Cryptomancer seem to be getting started on this. They're excited about it, and I'm hopeful for whatever we can get in Q2 along with land. But ultimately, this is kind of like the idea that I have for vouchers, just looking high level. If we need to burn 8.6 million roughly per year, right? There's nothing that accounts for 8.6 million out of the 14.6 million. So if we can find ways in which, like, this is going to be a long-term game. We want people to be here for a while. We want them to be burning vouchers forever, right? Like any extra that they have should go towards trying to get some kind of advantage for their guild. I think that would be a really, really cool way to do it. So let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Again, I'm probably rambling a little bit here, but I just wanted to get excited about vouchers for once, because we're starting to see this utility come in, and I think it could be a major, major boom to the overall ecosystem if vouchers can find their footing along with DEC and SPS, which we know are being focused on for land and for the flywheel respectively, right? So that's all I have in this video. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. I will catch you all in the next one and see you around the game. Take care.